Bucknutters, welcome to the Bucknuts Morning Five here on Thursday, June 23rd, 2016. I am Dave Biddle, joined by National Director of Recruiting for 24/7 Sports, Steve Wiltfong. Steve, first question for you, especially with Miquan Grace blowing up on the recruiting circuit. He just finished 8th grade. He's in the class of 2020. In your opinion, what is too early to offer a kid a scholarship?
Well, good morning, David. For me, I think I'm a believer in varsity tape. There are times where, you have a Dylan Moses who already has the size and has proven that he already has the verified testing numbers where you just know he's going to be a big-time guy. I can see it with some of these kids going into freshman year now with the skill players. But for a quarterback, I don't get it unless they played as the starter on varsity. But for the most part, especially if you're a high-profile school that's going to be in the hunt for who you think is going to be the top quarterback in the country. So if you're Ohio State and you offer a quarterback who's going into the 9th grade and hasn't played any varsity yet, what if in 2 years you think someone else is better than him, but this kid wants to commit to you? Then you put yourself in a little bit of a pickle. My take.
Speaking of which, that's a great segue because I was going to ask you about Danny Clark. It seems like that's what a lot of Ohio State fans are saying, that they should not have offered Danny Clark when he was a freshman in high school. And I think now, this is just me spitballing, I think Ohio State would like to pull the offer, but they really can't. But they've made it clear they really don't have room for 2 quarterbacks in this class, yet they went after Tate Martell, and they got Tate Martell. In your opinion, Steve, what do you think will happen with Danny Clark? Do you think he'll sign with Ohio State, or do you think he'll choose to go elsewhere?
Well, I'm not really sure. He's obviously gone and visited some other places and is looking at all his options. And he said all the right things publicly, which he's shown some really strong maturity, especially I believe in the male race. We don't become fully functioning until we're 25. So Danny's going through some things right now, and we don't have all the information, or we think we may have it, but we probably don't. But the way he's handled himself publicly should be commended. Will he go to Ohio State? I don't know. He did at least play his freshman year, if I remember correctly, before Ohio State offered. He's got other opportunities if he wants them. So, we'll see. Yeah, obviously we could speculate. I don't like to do that with young people. So, but Danny's going to be all right.
Steve, you see a lot of programs up close across the country. You talk to a lot of coaches. What is something maybe that sets Ohio State apart from other staffs, or something they do that really impresses you? Just anything you want to say, maybe what sets Ohio State staff apart when it comes to recruiting, or something they do especially well in your opinion?
Well, they do everything well. That's why they're so damn good. I feel like I talk about this all the time. But from top to bottom, from Urban Meyer to his assistant coaches, to his off-field recruiting staff, to his strength staff, it doesn't get any better. Maybe there's a product that's as good, but certainly nothing better. And I don't think there's anyone better than the off-field recruiting staff, led by Mark Bantoni. Mick Maratti's an innovator as a strength coach. Urban Meyer, demands excellence from everybody, and then, puts in the work himself. He's a head coach that understands. In college football, the biggest problem with some of the teams that are mediocre each year are that the coaches on the staff think that they're being paid to coach football. In college football, the number one thing you're being paid to do, in my opinion, is accumulate talent. And then you coach them. It's not an even playing field. It's a Jim's and Joe's game. And then, sure, You put together a game plan. You get 20 hours a week with your guys. You add a new wrinkle for whatever opponent you're playing. But generally, it's a Jims and Joe's game, and Urban Meyer understands that, has always understood that. And then he helps get the Jims and Joes. He's not a Mariano Rivera recruiter. He's not a closer, which is all right in certain situations for some schools. But for a place like Purdue, it sure as hell isn't. Your head coach needs to be in the trenches. But Coach Meyer, he's there from start to finish talking to their top targets. So I could go on and on about the Ohio State machine. I feel like you asking me that question is just all of a sudden we're kind of just, giving Ohio, we went out of our way to show Ohio State the love that everyone already knows about. But it's just Urban Meyer understanding that it's a Jims and Joe's business. And that doesn't mean taking the highest ranked kids. That means being great evaluators, which I think the Ohio State staff is, and offering the kid that they think is the best player, regardless of, where he fits in the rankings. Generally, that kid that Ohio State likes, thankfully we like a lot too. But they'll take a 3-star here and there, and that kid will end up being a badass.
Very true. Before I let you go, I know you have to catch a plane here in a little bit. Let's play the in and out game. Dan Rubin came up with it. Dan is on assignment this week, and so I'm going to steal his in and out game. I'm going to throw 7 5-star recruits at you. You can tell me if you think they're in or out of Ohio State's 2017 class. We will start with running back Cam Akers. Steve Wiltfong, is he in or out?
Oh, man. I got him out right now, but I say that knowing that Ohio State is a legitimate contender. Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State all got a chance to land arguably the best running back in the country, Cam Akers.
Outside linebacker,
number 2 in the 24/7 Sports composite there. I forget there's a drinking game, and I'm really people are getting out of this broadcast sober, so I need to get my game going here. And I'm going to play this.
By the way,
guys, once. I need to. I'm driving to the airport now, but next week I may play. I may play the drinking game with you Bucknutters.
Just to help the people out that are playing the drinking game, a little weather update here in Columbus. It's raining. My power was out throughout the evening. It came on just in time so I could call Mr. Wiltfong. How's the weather in Indianapolis, Steve?
We got rocked last night at like 4 a.m. It was hailing golf ball size ice, just knocking the crap out of my house. And right now it feels like it's hot as hell out. But it was a rough night. So drink up.
Drink twice, Bucknutters, because we just gave you 2 weather updates from 2 different cities. Okay, sticking with the in and out game, linebacker Baron Browning, in or out of Ohio State's 2017 class?
I got him in right now. I haven't put in a crystal ball. 5-star outside linebacker, the number 1 player in Texas according to 24/7 Sports. Baron Browning, I think Ohio State has really done a nice job there, and you get Okudah, you got Tate, I think Tyjon's coming. So you got a nice little nucleus there that I think Baron would like to play with, but he's going to make his own decision. I don't expect him to decide anytime soon. I think that Notre Dame's in it. I think Michigan's in it, UCLA. But I like where Ohio State stands, and I got the Buckeyes in right now.
Number 1 offensive guard in the country, Wyatt Davis, another 5-star. Is he in or out of Ohio State's 2017 class, Steve?
I'll admit, I haven't dug on this one in a little bit. So right now I got him out. I got him to Alabama. I could be wrong. I know he just took the Midwest visits, hit Michigan and Notre Dame. The thing about Wyatt, he's such a great fit anywhere. He's a chameleon. I mean, he's really one of the more diverse kids in this class. In addition to being a great football player, he's going to be a leader in someone's locker room, and you can just put him in any environment, and he's going to be all right. So he's almost a tough read, and again, unfortunately, and I apologize, Bucknutters, but I have not dug in on that one to give an answer that I feel confident about right now.
I like your honesty. You're covering like a million kids. That's fine to be honest there. I'm sure you're going to dig in very soon on that. And looking at the crystal ball, it looks like you're right.
what's my man Bill Kurelic saying? You know, last I was hearing was Alabama was out in front, but again, he took the Midwest swing, and I haven't read Bill Kurelic's article the last 48 hours. Normally, I'm an avid reader of my man Bill and Alex. What are those guys saying?
Alex is the one that I heard about from Wyatt Davis, because Alex was saying there was a chance something could happen.
Yeah, I saw. I'm on the group text, but that doesn't. You know, what are they saying? You know, what's
I didn't know you were on there. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything inside. It sounds like he's not going to be a Buckeye. I mean, it sounds like a long shot to me, but they're in the game. You know how it works, Steve. I mean, Alex is covering all his bases just to be sure, but I haven't had anybody tell me they think that Wyatt Davis is going to be a Buckeye. Just that Wyatt is in the running. All right, I'm going to throw 4 more names at you, and we'll let you go. 5-star wide receiver Trevon Grimes, in or out?
In. I mean, there's no explanation needed. We talk about Trevon all the time. In.
Same with this one. I think you already gave this one away. I don't think you're going to need much explanation with Tyjon Lindsey, in or out?
In. Long time in my opinion. Something would have to change for him not to be in.
And you touched on this one as well. 5-star safety Jeff Okudah.
In.
Final one.
I feel like Ohio State's been the leader for a while before he took his last visit. Could things change with Okudah? Certainly, but I feel good about that one. In.
That's huge. That's huge for Ohio State. His film is just ridiculously good. And then the last one, 5-star defensive end Chase Young, in or out?
In. I'm the first crystal ball there, I think. Hard to be the first 24/7 sports crystal ball as a national guy when we have so many good team reporters in every market. I actually almost screwed that one up because I had Maryland. I thought I had enough to crystal ball Maryland, and then I talked to my best of math source who's never let me down and told me it was Ohio State, and that's only, been proceeded to be backed up by sources since then, even on the Maryland side. But Maryland's certainly not going to lay down and let that kid just go to Ohio State. And it's going to be a long way to go, but a big-time pass rusher with a humongous upside. Wherever he goes, they'll be lucky to have him. He's another young man that is just really a cool kid. So he's a guy that I kind of got on my list as a dude I'm going to root for in college. I just like Chase. So right now I got him going to Ohio State.
Steve, that was really good information. Thanks for the knowledge, buddy.
Appreciate you having me on, David. And Chase Young, I think he's the number 1 player in Maryland according to 24/7 Sports. So chug that last one, fellas. Looking forward to next Thursday. And appreciate the opportunity to talk Ohio State recruiting with the greatest fans in the land.
Thanks again to Steve Wiltfong, and thanks to all the listeners out there for tuning into the show. I appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great day. Let's hear a little Buckeye swag, best damn band in the land.